Great.
Good to see all of you. And Tony, I know we have to connect on the phone. Well, it feels like a while ago, and certainly it's been longer than I would have liked, but I came and spoke with you a while back about the mayor taking a look at an executive order around contracting. And over the course of the weeks that it's taken to get us to this point, there's been a ton of work that has really gone into this document. I'm going to get straight to it. I want to really thank Nancy Locke, who is here this morning, and members of the equity contracting team in the city of Seattle, because this has been through many different hands and eyes. The mayor challenged me when I brought him an executive order that was issued by Mayor Nichols a few years back, I think maybe 2003 or 4, to really put more teeth and detail into this document. And so I therefore challenged members of the team to see if we could go as far as we possibly could, full well knowing that we have I-200 to deal with. It's gone back to legal several times. It's gone through our partners in the labor community, and we feel like this is a pretty good document. And so on Friday, this was signed by the mayor. This will be submitted to the city clerk first thing Monday morning, and we have a new executive order, and I'm pretty proud of this. I want to read to you just a little bit of this because so much work has gone into this, so if you'll bear with me. The first part is a memo, and I'm just going to read you the top paragraph. I've stated on many occasions my commitment to provide Seattle's diverse communities and businesses with fair access to and competition in city contracting and purchase activities. I've also stated my belief that the highest levels in city government have to remain engaged and committed to assure continued and even greater access, consideration, and economic opportunities for women and minority-owned businesses. It is with this in mind that I have signed Executive Order 2010-05, Outreach to Women and Minority-Owned Businesses. I'm going to skip down here. Please begin to work to implement these directives and by May 7th, 2010, email City Purchasing Director Nancy Locke the name of the staff that will be responsible for submitting the initiatives within your respective departments or offices. DEA or its assigned successors continues to have a team to support various aspects of the WINBI initiatives for your departments. Nancy Locke, Dolly Small of City Purchasing, will provide you with directions and materials in the coming weeks regarding the 2010 goals. And the 2010 goals, by the way, we're asking for a 10% increase over last year's goals across all departments. The Contracting Services Director will be your resource for leadership on WINBI initiatives in public works projects, consulting contracts, and outreach plans for those respective bids and projects. So there's a whole bunch of whereas here on the front page, but I'm going to turn it over because I think this is where it gets most important. Each head of an executive city department or office shall work to ensure that department employees are complying with this executive order, and to this end, each department director shall, 1, identify at least one individual who will be responsible to support these initiatives in his or her department. 2, train department employees on city contracting and purchasing policies, outreach opportunities, processes, and tools such as vendor and contract search mechanisms, job order contracting, and the limited public works program to help achieve department aspirational goals. 3, assign department representatives to attend appropriate outreach events in WINBI community to support increased WINBI utilization goals. And 4, size projects into a scale and scope appropriate to achieve greater WINBI opportunities while adhering to competitive bid requirements. 5, it's a long one, ensure contracting agents require a WINBI outreach plan as a material submittal for any purchasing, consultant, or construction bid or contract when WINBI participation can be improved through subcontract of feasible and commercially useful work. The outreach plan shall be required at the time a vendor submits a bid or proposal, at which time the contracting agent will review the plan to ensure meaningful WINBI opportunity. The contracting agent will require the successful bidder to comply with the submitted outreach plan in execution of the contract and during contract performance to the extent of city authority. And 6, pursue the help and assistance of other resources such as the Contractor Development and Competitiveness Center, Tabor 100, the Northwest Minority Supplier Development Council, and the Regional Small Development Business Program, and others, as appropriate to support the department's contracting goals. Furthermore, as city departments or offices establish purchasing standards for products, equipment, or services. They shall ensure that such standards allow for reasonable WIMBY participation opportunities to the greatest extent possible while still achieving city business requirements. This is signed Friday. It will go to the clerk on Monday, and we mean business. We expect to hold our departments accountable to everything that's in here. This was a weaker document many weeks ago when I first came to you, and it was my job to make sure that this was strengthened as much as it possibly could be, right up to the line of I-200. So I had consultation with Carl Marquardt, the attorney, on the 7th floor of City Hall, and we've gone as far as we think we can. We'll see how this works. We want to hear back from you to see how we're doing with this. So thank you for your patience. As you know, Ali has called me at least once a week asking about this since I was here last. So I really want to thank all of you for pushing us to get a better piece of documentation. Thank you.
Right on, Ollie.
Hey, Darryl, a couple of questions. One is, as you go through the budgetary process, the mayor submits his budget to city council. Will those words be given to the council as well in terms of looking at the budget for the next couple of years, number one? And number two, is that document or any part of it part of the performance evaluation of how you're going to look at your department heads?
Great question, George. What we're really using as a filter for the whole budget process, and just so you know, we will be coming out to the public here very quickly. I think Thursday or Friday of this week will be the very first public look at what we're facing, and that'll be taking place at the New Holly Gathering Hall here just on South Beacon Hill. We'll be engaging the public quite a lot on the upcoming budget challenges, but to George's question specifically, in all of the instructions to our department heads, the very first paragraph really has to do with the Race and Social Justice Initiative. We mean to have that filter be the top level for everything we do with the budget. So as directors are coming back with their BIPs or their budget paperwork on what their suggestions are, because we are in a deficit situation, we can't print money. We're going to be about 9, 10, 11 million short in 2009 just to close the books. We're looking at a much bigger number in the next 2 budgetary cycles. It's not good at all, I have to be honest with you. It's really not good. But despite those challenges, the Race and Social Justice Initiative, in terms of its internal functions and how that affects the community, is the top level filter. So everything is on the table, literally. When you're facing 50 million short for 2011, that's what we're looking at currently. Of course everything has to be on the table, but for us, that initiative and the goals therein, both in the community and in the bureaucracy itself, the mayor really means business around this. So we expect that to be followed. So yeah, it's part of the deal, absolutely.
Okay, and one other thing, and thank you for all your good work on this. Some of us in the past have done something similar like this when Gary Locke was governor, and once they identified folks in those different departments, they gave us those names so that we have direct contact with those folks. Are you guys willing to, once those folks are identified, will we handling this in each department, give those names out to folks?
In terms of the WIMBY?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine. Nancy, I put the date in myself yesterday afternoon as May 7th. I think I give about 10 days, so we'd be happy to supply those so that you know who those folks are. I think that's a great idea.
Darryl, as a suggestion, I want to thank you for the great work that you've done. As a suggestion, though, in order to help make it be more effective, you have the JOCs that you have already on the books and people are working, but different departments can bypass. They can do contracts with others. They don't have to go through the JOCs. In order for it to really work more effectively for women, minority, and small businesses, the JOC has those limits on it, and so that they give more opportunity for them. Can you just kind of take a look at it and make sure that the JOC is working?
Nancy, I'm going to defer to you on that. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, there is some language in there about making sure that departments are both trained on the tools and aware of how they should be using the job order contracting. that was one of the things that Darryl came back and asked us to strengthen, because both Darryl saw and we also saw the JOC tools as being ones that may not be as aggressively utilized by departments today as they should be, and that there's more that we can be asking of them to do that.
Right.
So we are going to be paying attention to that, and I will take that comment back as well.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Nancy. All right, thanks.
Yes, sir.
My last question, will you be working with minority contractors to develop that training?
That's a really great idea, and I think that's appropriate.
Thank you.
Any other questions before I take up too much of your agenda? Thank you all very, very much.